much better.
Perfect. Action.
Oh, coffee. Yeah, we're good. Action. I got the coffee. I got Dave.
We got you.
Happy birthday week.
Thank you, brother.
The big 40. Am
It's
I allowed
happening.
to say that to the world?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like when
I'm very happy for this.
It's not like when a female has a birthday.
Yeah.
You do not say the age.
It's so funny. So this is the conversation. This is going to be probably my favorite show to date. This is going to be a good one. I was just in Washington, D.C., and we'll get into that too.
Praise God.
But praise God. Another amazing, someone else was having a birthday, and he wouldn't tell us his age. Like it was another gentleman, and I was like,
What kind of man are you?
we can just like Google it. Like it's out there, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing.
I know your name.
Yeah, I'm proud to live this life in like going to be 40 in 40 hours almost, and it's like it's great. It's experience like I've loved, and it's been amazing. Love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
I love that you're here.
Yeah.
I love that you're another year older.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's been a really, really good. 39 was amazing, and I'm so excited for 40.
Yeah.
So excited. Could be
I
the best
have
you
a memory from our time together.
get. Ooh,
So I don't know if you check this out on your phone,
I should
but
more.
but you so if you have an iPhone, if you don't have an iPhone, I don't know what this is like for you, but in the photo app of iPhone, it seems like every day or two it will put up these brand new featured photos.
Wow.
So in the section, it'll say like featured photos, and you can scroll through them, and it'll be like 8 to 10 photos.
Okay.
There was one that you took of me and Brooke and Jones when we went to go see the Christmas lights in St. Augustine.
Wow.
And I was like,
a great night.
I was like, that was a great night.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, if I didn't have social media, or if I just I was off the grid, but I still had my iPhone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, and I still do this. I don't know. I feel like a geek. I check my featured photos every few days.
I need to know. That's
and it
awesome.
gives me like this little like memory lane of the last few years of my photos.
That's really cool. That was a great night, by the way.
Yeah,
Wow.
great.
Very good.
Spectacular.
Dude, I feel like we missed I think it's 19 or 18? 19? Was it 19? Do I have to look at my phone real quick?
I honestly, it's 19.
19.
19.
I think so.
1 9.
Whoo!
19,
Episode
baby.
19, Church
Wow.
Chats. Cheers to you, my dear
Cheers
friend.
to you. Second
Happy,
coffee of the day that we've had together.
I know. How cool is that?
That's so good.
That's one of my conversations is
Okay.
the first cup. So,
That's so good. Cheers.
wow. And this past Sunday, very cool. Pastor Michael. Was it a complete surprise to you?
Yeah, the
thing at
little
the end.
thing at the end.
Okay,
Yeah, Brooke
so
didn't even know until right before the service.
Okay, so Pastor Michael surprised Pastor Jordan, saying how much not even he, but we as a whole church love you, appreciate you, acknowledge you. 5 amazing years, and I
Yeah.
thought that was great. Kids had cupcakes, so that's always a plus.
Oh, yeah.
So they were happy. They're like, why are we doing this? And I was like, because Pastor Jordan's been here for 5 years, and of course the girls are like, "It's his birthday." I'm like, no, it's not his birthday. It's not his.
He's
birthday.
a pretty big 5-year-old.
It's not his birthday, but how that was amazing. What a
Yeah.
blessing that is.
Yeah. So thank you to everybody in the church for celebrating me, make me feel loved. I got a lot of hugs at the
That's always
end of service.
That's always
People are
a win.
really great. And so yeah, it's been really awesome 5 years. I think that I've known I wanted to do full-time ministry since I was like
amazing.
17 years old.
Amazing.
So, but this is my first full-time job in ministry. I've done education.
Okay.
I've done part-time stuff while being in college. I've done all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
And I've obviously been serving in church since I was like 16.
Of course.
But I knew I wanted to be a pastor since I was a teenager.
That's
and
amazing.
so it's like one of the great joys of my life to do this full-time as a vocation.
So great. And then behind the scenes stuff, I was just doing this for 2 hours, so I have my journalistic mind on, and as soon as you're talking, like I have 2 questions that came to mind
go.
out of thing.
I'm ready.
So we'll first one out of this, and then the second one we'll lift up. We'll do a roller coaster. We'll go, and then we'll go back up, right?
I love it.
What has been the hardest part, or maybe a hardship in this first 5 years that you didn't expect or didn't see coming, or because of this, something else? What has been a hardship in the first 5 years?
Okay. I think probably this is a common one for, I think, a lot of pastors. And if I'll just be transparent, it's that sometimes you replace your personal devotion with your responsibility in the church. So like, I'll read my Bible for my own time with the Lord and wanting to be with him in prayer.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if I'm honest, it's like, oh, I got to go to the Bible because I have to give people something.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
And I think that that's a dangerous place to be for pastors. I have not lived in that space for very long, because anytime I find myself in that space, I'm like, stop what you're doing at once and go be with the Lord and take care of that relationship.
Wow.
But I've, for sure have missed the mark a few times. And I think that even when you find good stuff that way, it doesn't come out of the right order. And so it ends up becoming, I think, less spiritually potent, less.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I think, I've definitely practiced that. And that's something I want to do better.
For sure.
Yeah.
With that, what has been the best part? What has been, and maybe not the best part, let me reword that. What has been an unexpected plus or an unexpected surprise that you're like, hey, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to love this for this. And wait, like this out of nowhere came up, and I didn't see this for happen. I didn't see this a part of the job title, but this has been such a blessing that I have acquired over these 5 years.
Wow. That's hard, because I think there's a few.
Okay.
But I think,
give a few,
right
yeah.
off the top of my head, I think like, I can't believe I get paid to do this, because I've been doing it voluntarily for so long, you know?
Sure.
And so like, to be able to earn a living while doing this is like, I feel so grateful for that. I really do. And then like, one of the other things is I've had the opportunity to be a youth pastor the last 4 years.
Amazing.
Never was on my radar.
Okay.
Was always going to be the worship guy, was always going to do the preaching stuff. But the youth pastor stuff was never on my radar, and it's actually become a real joy. And I love our students.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and it's so cool to be able to input into them and teach them and feel like you're seeing progress over the years. And so those things have been really awesome.
That's amazing. I guessed when I started, I was like, hey, I think that's going to be your pro. Your con, I thought was going to be almost the opposite of that. Is like, someone give a great shout out to the magnificent Lucy, right?
She's so good.
So great. And it's not negative, but like, hey, she's growing up, and then she might transition.
Well, that's a con.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Dude,
that's what I mean. So like,
having to send students away.
Yeah. So if you're a youth pastor, you've like the first year, there's probably kids that maybe it was like their last year or second to last year that you probably don't see as often. That's got to be like, wow, like when your first day, your first week, your first year on the job, there's probably smiles and conversations and people that you don't get anymore.
Right.
And like as a teacher, like as someone talking to teachers, like sometimes, and school season just started, and talking to our sons and daughters about it, it's wild that the teachers right off the bat know if it's almost going to be a good year or a bad year.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when it's a couple of teachers came up to us and like, dude, we miss teaching Dylan. Like Dylan was such a delight in our class, and like
he knew math.
We'll go into that conversation too. But like, so it's got to be, in a good way, but like passing, like people transition out.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great because you have to look at the positive, because it does hurt when you send people out.
Yeah.
But you don't want some kid that you've had in youth group for 4 years to stay in youth group.
Yeah.
For forever.
Right.
Like that means they're failing school probably. But not in the same capacity. Maybe they stay in as a leader. Maybe they grow up and stay at church and they don't go off to college somewhere else. But like, ideally, you're wanting to help that growth process. And it's the same way that I think about my son. Like, I love my son. It's going to be hard when he leaves the house one day.
Yeah.
But
wow.
I know that's best for him. And I know that that's going to be like, we'll have raised him to be a man at some point, you know, and that's like, it's really funny. Like, Brooke's job is to nurture this little boy. My job is to turn him into a man.
Yeah. Get him ready to like,
come on, this is the world you're going to face. Wow. Like, get out there. And so it would be a failure if he couldn't do that.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Guys, this episode I think is gonna be a tad different. I got like so many stories. Usually it's like we're right into Sunday and we're right into it. And Pastor Michael was absolutely bringing the heat like always. Sunday was phenomenal. The song at the Jesus song at the end, come on, that was a new one for me. I was rolling with it, so I love that. That was great. But I got two more like great stories. One, very organic, hit me on the way driving here. It happened this morning between us.
Okay.
So we had a great, myself and Susie, and you and your wife, Brooke, and Jones, had a great little breakfast coffee thing.
little coffee.
Little coffee.
Tea and crumpets.
And we walked to the water splash pad.
Yeah.
And Jones. So this is where I'm going with it. I'm sorry. This is so, I don't know. It hit me. Whatever space you're in now, or whatever people believe in now or in the future, or wherever they're at in life.
Yeah.
And if people sometimes are down or might not think of this way or that way, if you guys can just be around Jordan and Brooke's son, Jones, and if you guys can just not even communicate with him, just watch him, just see his smile, his laugh, his aura. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I can't give you the Bible. I can give you the Bible and you guys can read the whole Bible, or you can just see Jones's laugh and be like, okay, yes, there's more.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Your son has an incredible smile, incredible laughter. He already, for being so young, like, he has this weird lifting of him. Like, he makes people around him better already. And that's like one of the best attributes I feel like anyone can have. You have it personally as well. Your son has an amazing smile.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Great. Yeah. Dave's like, Dave and Susie were like, wow, if people could just witness the smile, there would be
no hardship in this
no hardship
world. No debt, no crime. Just like, we'll be in a court, and there'll be a person that's not doing some good things, and then it's like, hey, bring in the big guns. And it's Jones walking in.
It's like, I've got joy.
Just show you, and then the bad person be like, okay, it's over my heart now.
Be better now.
Yeah. That should be it.
He's a great kid. I mean,
amazing.
We love him to death, and he's definitely a gift from the Lord.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And, we love that other people love him. That's the best thing that anybody can say about your kids.
Yeah.
That they just enjoy being around them. That's like, you don't have to apologize for. I mean, there are things I have to apologize for that he does for sure. Like when he hits another kid or throws something, or but for the most part, he's just doing it because he's crazy, not because he's upset. That doesn't mean he doesn't have bad days. He does.
Yeah. We all, us, as grown men, as almost 40-year-olds have bad days.
That's right.
100%. But that was awesome. That was such a great morning. And again, it made my whole day better. It just lifted me up, lifted my soul up, so that was great. Story from now 2 weeks ago. Great. Dude, Susie was unbelievable with a total surprise. Had no idea. My best friend on this planet, my little brother Drew, lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we were just there. Me and Colin were just there a couple episodes ago. We had that kind of story, if you guys remember. So we see him rarely because he lives up there. He has a family of 5. We have a family of 6. It's hard to do those travels.
That's difficult.
Susie had a total surprise party for me because it wasn't my birthday yet. He came down on a Friday to a Sunday thing. Amazing. So cool. Stunning. So on that Saturday, there was a little surprise birthday lunch, if you want to say.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was my whole life in front of me. Family, friends from 25 years ago, friends right now in this moment, kids, and even family I see less often and see often. And it's just like, wow, I have my life's in front of me. It was pretty special, pretty amazing. And won't get into particulars, but one family member that maybe is not, I'm trying to say this the nicest way possible, not as maybe don't have as strong as faith as others.
Sure.
Right? And that family member whispered in my ear, Isaiah 30. I was like, come on, let's go. I was like, I'm like done for the day. I was like, win.
The Lord
see you
longs to be
later.
gracious to see you.
I felt like
Boom.
2 episodes ago, that was our thing. That was, I think we hit on 8 times. And I was like, I think I've said it 5 more times since then. I was like, this person whispered that in my ear. I was like, come on. Are you kidding me? It was the best thing ever.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Something's happening. People are watching.
Unbelievable, right?
Things are going on.
There we go.
That's so good, man.
Hearts are changing.
Yeah, that's right.
Loved it. Nothing better than that.
That's so cool.
The best.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't wait to tell you that story. And I usually tell, Jordan these stories off here. I was like, I gotta hold this one in. I gotta wait. And then next week, last week I wasn't here. I was in Washington D.C. I was like, I can't wait to tell this story. Yeah.
That's so cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That makes it feel like it's all worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember?
Yeah, just one.
Just one. There you go.
It was
just one.
so cool. Coolest thing. So
Lord
I had to
longs to be gracious to you.
Isaiah 30.
Let's go.
Best.
Oh, so good. So, Lucy crushed the song "I Speak Jesus."
So good.
So
dude.
we start that song in rehearsal. Okay, our rehearsal's at 8 a.m., right?
And the first time you ever sang it was this?
Well, no, we sang it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And we did like a bridge. We didn't do the full thing. But this one's been on my heart for a while. And William, who plays the bass, like he was talking to me about it probably 8 months ago.
Wow.
He's like, I really want to do this song. And I've known about this song. We heard it at Passion Camp for a few years. And it's an awesome song. But Phenomenal. It was just like the perfect time this Sunday. And in rehearsal, Lucy starts the song. She's like, I don't know, it might be a little too low for me. You might have to help me on the verses. But she just goes for it and sings the first verse. And literally, dude, I got so many chills. I almost started crying in rehearsal. I was just like, this is going to be so good.
Yeah.
And man, it was awesome. Yeah.
Dude,
you don't usually, when you're doing it, you don't usually feel that way. So
you're doing it. Yeah,
you're doing it. You don't really have the sense that everyone in the room is having. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you're in tune with that, but not quite like that. And in rehearsal, it was like an anointing was on it. I just knew this is gonna be good.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
So man,
I loved it.
She's awesome.
Loved it.
Song was awesome.
The whole morning was phenomenal. And then that's the Van Aukens are huge fans of Miss Lucy.
Oh yeah,
huge fans. Shout out to her. We
good.
Got to have her on this set one day sooner or later.
Oh yeah,
we got to make it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right on saying it. Sometimes a song or a movie or a moment or a passage or something can be right, just not the right time. And it's funny how life does that, a song or whatever the case is. And yeah, it did. On Sunday, it felt perfect.
Yeah. It's like when the essence and the timing get together and it's
like,
that's the right
we're
thing.
Gonna make this.
Yeah.
It's like
so good.
God made peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, peanut butter sandwich.
It was everybody's first time having an Uncrustable. It was crazy.
Yeah. Like the jelly is a good thing, but God put that together for us. Think about that.
Yo, and then Pastor Michael went on his tangent, and it was not even a part of the sermon. I mean, it was a part of the sermon, but it wasn't a part of the sermon.
The Snoopy one? Oh,
no, Snoopy was great.
It was so good.
Love Snoopy.
So real quick, I'm sorry, and
That's
please
okay.
go right
No,
back to it real quick. So my wife Susie would, hey, she's been working so hard. I was gone, so it was just a lot, and she was just a tad under the weather, and to start a whole new week in school, and so she didn't come. So it was me and all the kids, and Emmy has been usually sitting with me to hear you for a couple songs, but this time Dylan wanted to, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. Let's do a couple songs. They sat with us. I don't know if you saw or noticed. They sat the whole time. They were there for an hour and 30 minutes.
Wow.
Dylan, Emmy, and me were third row center for an hour and 30.
Come on.
And I'm not gonna Pastor Michael was the kids needed a little something. They saw Snoopy on the big screen, and they're like, okay, we're good for 10 more minutes.
See how the Lord orchestrates things?
It's amazing, brother.
A little Snoopy cartoon.
Amazing.
Little Peanuts cartoon.
I'm sorry to
No,
take us
that's
sideways,
awesome. That's really cool. This is gonna be a good nosedive right now, because I was just like,
it can't.
gonna go
brother.
so serious. But he starts reading Psalm 139, and he's I think really charitable when he mentions political things, right? He doesn't want to offend people, right? And that's a good thing, I think, for a pastor to be. Is like, you don't want to be offensive. The thing you want to do the most is promote the gospel. And if you would talk about anything that would hinder the gospel, then not great.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, red, blue don't matter, but if you're like, hey, this is the best ever because of the gospel, but like other people, because there's another side, are gonna be like, hey, we don't like that, and they're gonna miss the point of, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter blue or red. The book is what matters at the end of the day. So I love that.
But he started talking about life, right? And so this is a touchy subject, obviously. But he started Psalm 139 talking about like the Lord knew my unformed body. He knit me together in my mother's womb.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but we have to live out our theology. And I just loved it. I was just like, yeah, come on, man. We have to. I just almost want to be like, come on, brother. Come on, brother. We have to live out our theology. And I think that something that I was thinking about before we were going to talk today, something that I wanted to say to kind of free people, especially our brothers and sisters in Christ, is that I think we get a lot of pushback towards us for being Christians and wanting to enter into the political sphere as Christians. And what I would say to that is governments exist to create and enforce laws, right? So there will be a morality on the table, whether a Christian is involved or not. But so a lot of people, their objection to Christians, they go, you're forcing your morality on me. I don't like that. And you go, okay, fine. But if I don't vote, then somebody else's morality is winning, right?
Right.
And so I would just say, if you're a Christian and you don't really know whether to speak up or have good conversations about politics, I'm not talking about getting angry and shouting your opinion. I'm talking about like having an informed, good conversation where you can say, hey, from a biblical perspective, this is why this matters to me. I think that you should be able to have those conversations, and you should be proud to have those conversations and those viewpoints.
Yeah.
And I think that if Christians throughout history haven't had those conversations, hospitals wouldn't exist, slavery wouldn't have been abolished, personal freedoms wouldn't in America exist the way that they do.
Yeah.
And so I think that those are things that we can hang our hat on, go, hey, you know what? Christianity has been really, really good for the world. The entirety of Western civilization hinges on it pretty much. Right. And so I think don't be afraid to get into politics and to talk about that. And there's probably even Christian people that you should serve in politics. Like you should probably do that. Yes. Okay. So that's just something I wanted to say.
No, so good.
Because I feel like we get guilted into like, hey, Christian, shut up, separation of church and state. But that was always to protect the church, not the government.
And you ready? I'm going to dig deeper.
Come on.
I'm digging deeper with you.
Let's go.
And it's, you said, please help me if I'm off on it, saying about Christians, about feeling off about going into politics.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I feel that you can erase politics. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes Christians get judged for walking down the street. They're like, hey, you're a Christian? You
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you believe? You're reading that
Leave
book
me
at night?
alone. And you're like, yeah, I'm not even talking to you.
Yeah. One, I hope everyone sooner or later feels that in their heart
Yeah.
and becomes a child of God sooner or later, right? But if they don't, I pray that on your heart. But if you don't pray anything bad on my heart.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm good. I have great peace in my heart. I'm going to raise my family and my loved ones with that peace.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it's negative that's like, hey, you know, and I've had really good and a really nice guy came to me today at Sunday at church, and I don't want to say despise. That's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. I dislike when people come up to me and they're like, wait, what do you do? Or, oh, you're a big deal, or this or that. I saw you this. Dude, I'm a dad of 4. I'm a husband. I'm a child of God before any of all that stuff. Like, that's cool. I don't do that stuff for people to be like, oh, dude,
look at you, dude.
Yeah. That's the 8 millionth reason why I do that, right?
Yeah.
But once in a while, and it's not often, but like they'll kind of be like, hey, but you do that, but now I hear of you or see of you and see your families at church or see something of this. It's like they're like, hey, they're kind of like they're taken back from it. It's like, yeah, like am I hurting you, or is my family hurting you that we're coming Sunday morning? Yeah. Like I don't understand that. So even like I guess like I said, dig more in you to. Christians going into politics. I just think Christians walking. I don't know why
being bold wherever you are.
Yeah. I
love it.
Yeah,
I think the thing is well, one, we're afraid of being rejected, right? I think we're afraid. I think a lot of people. That's why people don't share the gospel. A lot of people they go, okay, is it the right time to share the gospel with this person? And I'm like, well, you don't know when Jesus is coming back. Like, it's always the right time to share the gospel. But what we're afraid of is personal rejection, I think. And what something like that, like drawing a line in the sand and saying, hey, like Jesus has come for all people, and you have to accept him to belong to him. Yeah. In the end time, like to belong to him in eternity, like you have to accept him. And when you say that, it does draw a line in the sand. And you're not saying effectively you're a bad person. You're not saying I don't love you and I don't think you're valuable. Right. But people go, oh, but that's what you think of me.
Yeah. You know? They're, and it's, like sometimes, I we went down the rabbit hole here, but like, I do think just like non-believers, they are almost, I'm going to say it, I guess. I think they're afraid of our peace. Like they're scared of like, why are you so peaceful with that? Because I am.
Because I got the joy down in my heart.
Yeah, like I know what's happening to me and to my loved ones. And
I read the end. We're taken care of.
Yeah, It's like I said, I used to wake up being afraid of death, and I'm not afraid anymore.
Come on.
So there's just like,
let's go.
It's I want to live to 100 to see my girls get married. There's always that, but desires. I'm not afraid. Yeah. And I think people are afraid of that.
Yeah. It's because you're on this whole other thing, and you're connected to the God of the universe, and that's a little weird. That is, but it's amazing. Yeah, and there's nothing like it. And I think that the world is aching for some bold Christians. The world is aching for people that first of all, we're not ashamed of Jesus, right? Paul says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. It has the power to salvation, right? Like I am not ashamed of that. Yeah. The Lord has changed my life. And if all I do is tell you what the Lord has done to me, like hopefully you'll catch that. Yeah. You know, it's not my responsibility to save anybody. It's my responsibility to tell people about Jesus. But it is my responsibility to do good works in Jesus' name. It is my responsibility to like help society.
I think Pastor Michael was hitting that a lot on Sunday.
100%. And at the end of the day, and the last thing I'll say about the political thing, but I think it applies to everything, not just the political, exactly what you're saying, your everyday life. If you're working in a job where you're around a bunch of people that don't believe the same as you, the last thing I'll say is that we don't put our faith in all of those things. We put our faith in Jesus. And so if things don't go our way, we still have that peace. We still have the joy. Because it doesn't come from us, it doesn't come from our material things.
Yeah.
It comes from him.
Yeah.
And it becomes intrinsic in us, and it exudes out of us. And I think that's what people don't get.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
Yeah.
They think it's circumstantial, but it's not.
Wow.
This is...
Did I tell you? I came in here, I go, this is going to be
locked
the best.
And loaded.
And then Sunday happened. We had so much, and
there's probably still a bunch more.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
But
yeah.
This is what happens when we have a week off.
I know. Never again. That's it. We might have to. Hey, we like I said, we might have to do it via the computer. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Hey, we're always evolving.
I'm always game.
Yeah, we're always pivoting. And
you guys want to hear a FaceTime call between us?
A little StreamYard. Hey.
You're the master. You're the man. You know these things. I love it.
Yeah, pretty good. But hey, so Jones's Smile. Be here on Sunday. 5-year anniversary for this guy right here.
Wow, 40th birthday for this guy.
40th coming up very, very, very soon. It's coming. Dude, time flies. Soccer season's next week. We start. We got practices. It's gonna be. Cannot.
Who's the soccer player that you go? I'm gonna show them one person highlight tapes of. Who is it?
So my guy is Messi.
Let's go! Yeah, I'm Leo Messi. My brother was always Cristiano Ronaldo, but
I'm sorry that your brother was wrong.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's dead wrong.
I'm sorry. Messi's that guy.
He's the guy.
Colin has it on. It's not the Switch. Oh yeah, it's the Switch.
Yeah,
FIFA.
he's just playing FIFA.
Yeah, and we
Leo
do that.
Messi's
it's Messi versus Ronaldo. That's what we do, and it's the Messi team usually does okay. We hold ourselves down, but the girls' team are the Spideys.
Yeah,
and then the Dylan's team is the Nightmares.
Come on.
So we are locked and loaded, ready to go. So yeah, I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you see Dave on Sunday, give him a big hug. Because he just turned 40 and he's got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for watching Church Chats, episode 19. We'll see you next week for 20.